Folks, and welcome to Zero Camp. We'd like to go ahead and start off by saying thank you. Sorry, we're pointing and laughing at stuff. This is how we get things started here. We'd like to say thank you to Enchanted Grounds location in Littleton for hosting us this evening. We're doing something a little bit different tonight. We are not playing a game or streaming a game, but instead, Matt has graciously brought in his Mark IV Orgoth Sea Raider boxes and Khador Winter Core boxes. And we're going to do a short unboxing video. We may follow this up with more. We'll see what happens. But for tonight, this is what we're doing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice and the sexy, sexy models that we will show you off. Take it away, gentlemen.
Matt, these are your models. I'm going to let you dive in here.
All right, sounds good. So first off, we're going to start off with Orgoth, probably what everybody wants to actually see, unless you're Bolsheviks like myself.
I am for sure a heathen. Definitely a heathen. Yes.
Okay.
Before he jumps too far into those, I'm going to put these up here real fast. These are the magnets that come with this. They were packaged better than I thought they were, to be honest. And I was curious. They are the same packs for each of them. So on each of these packs, it comes with 20 3/16 magnets and 20 1/8 magnets. And they're the same for both. I did check those labels. They are the same for both. I don't know if you want to open these or not, but they're just magnets.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and keep them in there just in case they don't get lost and stuff like that. We can, if chat wants to, we can go ahead and do that. But for right now. All right, so this is your Mark IV box for the Gen Con stuff. Comes in this. That fun stuff right there, yada, yada, yada. And it comes in shrink wrap, non-shrink wrap, but in bubble wrap. So stuff is pretty well protected.
Tell me more about the bubble wrap.
No, I am not going to tell you about the bubble wrap. Would you like to pop the bubble wrap?
I would love to pop the bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's going to happen for you.
Woo!
Some ASMR.
If I just totally ruined this camera, I think I have.
All right, so we have...
Oh, yeah, Stu, we're going to unbox the crap out of this stuff. You better believe it.
Oh,
Yeah. So we got our
Unbox me,
caster,
baby.
we got our
Unbox
tyrant,
me.
and we got our jackal.
So
And
if you can't tell, this is the jackal.
Actually, it's a little hard to read.
Is it? Well, the camera's tiny. Can't help you there.
Well, it was just a little smidge fuzzy.
All right.
So, all right, we'll go ahead and start off with our caster first.
Sounds good.
Harushk.
Hand me jackal.
And we got a jackal over here. So we'll start off with our caster. So he's pretty burly. I've heard his abilities are pretty disgusting. But here's...
Perfect. Thank you.
So he comes with his
40
40
mil
millimeter. He is a big boy. He's got that whole Viking Raider theme going.
Would you say he is a chonky caster?
He is a chonky boy. Like, I'm getting some serious Chromac vibes here.
So one of the I can't think of the word off the top of my head. One of the things people have been worried about, I guess, this whole time I've been listening to is because these are 3D printed models, they were like, oh, 3D print, are you going to see mold lines? Are you going to see all the shit? I don't see a single thing.
No, not on this guy. No, there's been some variability from what we've seen online recently from individual contributors, but from what I can tell, it's all been early production stuff, and they've really tightened up their QA. This is fairly late in the production line. Hopefully it won't affect any core boxes that are going to be released on the in October. It's part of the starter line.
Hold it just a smidge. We can't. Yeah, there we go. We appreciate your patience, folks. This is an unexpected setup, so we were not 100% prepared for this, but we will make do with the technology we have.
Absolutely.
Bring you 110%, the best 80% quality we can.
So that's our caster. Talk about some rules on this guy. So he is a burly dude. He's got a POW 17, reach 2, magical weapon. So he hits like a truck.
Stu says he's a pansy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He's a pansy.
He's a pansy.
Stu is a pansy, that is correct.
That's right. It works every time, 50% of the time, Stu.
100% of the time, it works 50% of the time. Or no. 50% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
I mean, he's not Karchev. Like, he's not sitting around like an armor friggin' 19 going in there and wrecking face. Like, that's not his job. He is a Jack support caster, but he can mix it up. He's got arc nodes. He turns all of his warjacks into arc nodes. Oh, that's wrong. That's the wrong caster. Sorry. Apologies.
He is Fate Blessed, though. When a friendly faction model makes an attack or damage roll during his activation, in his control range, he can spend a focus point to re-roll that roll. Which just feels like a fancy way to say, like, hey, look, I have, what was the spell? The Arcane Focus, I believe.
Yeah. Spend 1 focus slot model to re-roll. That's real good. Real good.
Stu, to be fair, very few of these Mark IV casters we've seen so far lead from the front.
No, they really don't. We haven't seen like the Karchev equivalent yet, or a Chromac.
I'm sure as we get to the Winter Core caster, we'll talk about that a little bit more, because that caster doesn't like to see battle at all.
No, she's
Not even from the horizon.
No. She's definitely I would like you to respectfully keep your distance from me.
And
You know what, Stu? You saying you play Haley, suddenly this makes a lot more sense. You're right. Okay.
He's a Haley 3 caster. His opinions are null and void.
Yeah. So I mean,
but this, so just the model. You guys
Yeah.
talking rules? I've been playing with the model. I didn't hear a word you said.
Yeah.
This model feels awesome. The dry fits alone have been really nice.
Oh yeah.
Because it's 3D printed, there's no flashing really that I need to worry about.
Oh yeah. Like this is gonna take slap chopping real well. So so just for people to know.
Quarter of an inch. Oh, no, it's perfect, actually.
I just put the sword up here because it's a nice flat surface. There's no
Greg
layers.
likes to whip his sword out for people to see.
I do.
Especially when it's not his sword.
Wow.
Give it a good turn if that's okay. Let's show folks at home, like, it's actually like,
There's a lot of detail on this.
there is a lot of detail. The resin printing came out pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, keep in mind this is like late production, so if you're seeing a lot of the early stuff that you were seeing was like first run, second run, maybe
Still figuring the shit out.
still trying to figure it out for getting stuff out the door.
Language, gentlemen.
Yes.
So as far as this dude's concerned, like he's got some good stats. He's definitely, of the casters that we've seen so far, he's the most lead from the front we've seen, except for maybe the big hammer guy from Signar. But this guy is definitely arm 18, like he can take a hit. So as far as play-wise, he looks pretty good.
But can he take a hit from Azazello?
Where does Azazello end up dead? That's a very good question. He's not Butcher.
No.
He is not Butcher 3. But he occupies a good space. He's got good spell options. And the rack for Orgoth is very good. Very good.
You want to back him up? We'll move on to the next one.
Yep, sounds good.
So I got the Jackal here.
You know what, Stu? We're not sure if Azazello will be a Mark IV.
No.
We'll see when. Well, he is a Pharaoh caster. He may still make the grade,
might.
but we shall see. That is for sure.
I need my waifu. All right, so
Husbando.
Your husbando. His bacon husbando.
so here's the Jackal.
Not to be confused with Bruce Willis.
Another 40 mil base. What do we got going on here?
Got lots of options here. Let's go ahead and...
We'll see what
Carapace here.
Haley does, but
I got a leg.
we have so many parts for this model. This one was the Jackal, you said, right?
Yes, the Jackal. Here's
This is his
a
tail.
left arm, butt tail.
All right, I'll take out his arms and claws and shields and
Here's
stuff.
one of the heads. Do they still call them cortexes?
Yeah, I call it cortexes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember my rules between here and Warcaster. So again, just fiddle dry fits. Feels nice. So that's cool. And there's slot. Oh, that's here. That's if I get it in the right spot. It feels much better now. If I don't put it where the head goes, the butt goes in the bottom. So there we go. So that goes there. All right. So we got leg, body, leg, tail, arms and things. These shoulder, yeah, those are pauldrons. Yep. Those fit right there.
Get it just a smidge closer to the. A little bit closer. Wait for it to focus. If it refocuses.
Maybe.
Yes, delicious. Our camera isn't focusing fantastic.
Wow. Well, those are that. So yeah, we got shoulder pauldrons here. Lots of arms. There's a little bit of cleanup on these ones, but nothing major at all.
What kind of cleanup are we looking at on there?
So like here, there's a couple brush marks, a couple swipes with some simple green
Take it
toothbrush,
just a smidge back.
a couple.
Smidge closer to the camera. Smidge closer to the camera. We're working on getting this to focus for you folks at home so we can actually see what we're talking about. Switch closer.
Yeah, it's focused back here.
There. Oh, no, perfect, actually.
Trying to take up more real estate of this.
No, that's fine, actually.
Screen.
We see it perfectly now. So,
Yeah, there we go. So you can see there's a couple lines in there. So a little simple green, a little toothbrush action, and you pop those right off. But that's about it for cleaning.
So we do have an issue in the box.
What's that?
Got a pole arm issue.
show it to the camera.
The pole arm.
Yeah, so the pole
Get
arm.
it like close, like take up most of that real estate.
Yeah. So the pole arm apparently snapped.
Yeah.
Very, very cleanly, but it did snap. So Privateer Press has stated that they will replace these, but that's a pretty clean snap.
I would just pin that and call it a day.
Yeah.
We're still getting a pretty. If it's like hold up something behind it.
Yeah. We need to. No, you're fine. It's picking up the background.
Oh, okay.
Again, thank you, folks at home, for your understanding and patience as we make this work.
I don't know if that's any better or not.
A little
So-
further down. There we go.
That's camera focusing.
That's perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, and go and pull it apart. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
is
we-
a very clean snap. But yes,
Yeah, it's pretty clean slap. So these are a little bit more brittle than your standard plastics. Pretty easy fix, but still, you hate to see it.
Yeah, but like I said, that one's clean enough. I would just pin it and not even give them a call. But
Yeah.
that's me. But yeah, no, lots of stuff here. I think this is cool.
Yeah. You know, the jack itself is really, really nice. You got your fist weapon, you've got your mace.
it's actually a lot better things for me.
Yeah, you got your claw here. So
It was focusing on the red.
you got your caparis and your shoulder pads. Then you have your individual weapons. So you got your arm weapons here. That's a head.
All right, that's kind of really cool, actually. So the details on
Switch further down. There you go.
the details on the fist and the fingers, I think that looks really cool. Yeah, I think that looks awesome.
I mean, it is definitely a testament to what you can do with 3D printers. For those of you that aren't familiar, that level of detail, like,
Right.
that's very easy to achieve these days with the right kind of resin printer.
That's awesome.
And then we're missing
But
a piece
it is super
here.
cool to see.
What's that?
It goes in there.
Is it a sword?
No, that's from the pole arm.
Oh, that's pole arm. I don't know. That is a right arm. Something goes in the right arm there.
It's a flamethrower. Is it the flamethrower?
This flamethrower?
Salt
I don't know.
shield, quad fist.
They're all getting all jumbled up here. So we got left arm, left arm,
What arm is it? It's a right arm.
Oh, is it this fist right here?
Oh yeah.
We got it. Oh, that's cool. So those fit really nicely together. So right there, that socket just goes cleanly right in there.
Now,
Oh,
does it magnetize for a different weapon, or is that whole
feels
arm?
That's a whole arm.
this is one piece. So everything magnetizes on the shoulder joints, and that's what you can see in those joints. They're all socketed for those magnets. So you can just pop those in and call it a day.
Excellent.
Well, cool. Jacko looks cool. Sad about the break, but it seems easily fixable.
Yeah,
and
it's very fixable.
PP will send that out if you need them.
For our chat, is anybody in there picking up Orgoth Sea Raiders? Anyone excited about what they're seeing over here, or have your own box?
This guy. This is an arm.
Wow.
So that's also an arm. Where's the pole arm? Pole arm's right here.
Full arm, yep.
And then
Right arm, right arm.
Oh, no, this is also a thing.
It's more like Snorgoth. I'm
Then
kind of with
that
you,
guy.
Stu. I'm excited for the Winter Core box, actually.
I'm excited for pigs.
It'll be a little while until pigs, but...
No, October. October's pigs.
Oh, that October, okay.
Yeah. And then we have all the individual heads.
Stu's probably excited for the Eldritch Elves. Really? I would have figured that a Haley player like you would have been excited that the Ultramarine box that we don't have up here is an option.
All right, let's wrap up the Jacko. Let's pull up something else.
Yeah, all the little heads too.
Yes, Old Lunar Republic, the rules will... that'll for sure be interesting. Hopefully end of October, but we will see.
Yeah, the Haley will probably not make it.
You know, Haley 7, they'll just skip a few of them. That might be a thing in Mark 4.
Ooh, she'll be a Crix undead Haley. She'll join her twin sister.
She's going to be Dusk
and be
Haley,
undead Haley.
Multiverse Haley, where she's born an elf. 6. Haley 6, yes. Excellent.
There's your base.
All right.
Because Haley 3 was really Haley, like,
4 and 5.
well, Haley 2.5 and Haley 4.
Yeah. Alrighty,
We'll just
so
Excellent. So now we have the next Jack, which is
the
Tyrant.
If I can get this. There we go.
what a step up. We went from an animal to a despot.
Jackal to a Tyrant.
That's right.
These are stuck well together. The Warcaster stuff was not packaged this well. I like it. But the Warcaster stuff, to their credit, just because it's environment stuff, they did use the paper plastic, the wax paper, not the bubble wrap. But the bubble wrap seems to protect the stuff a little
We
better.
will also see what happens too when we get to the starter boxes.
True that.
Because these were somewhat impromptu for Gen Con.
Got a little solid. All right, this chassis, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Holy.
great.
Get her up in there. Show the chat.
Yeah.
Real good. It's not focusing real well.
Man, try to force the focus away from the table.
Moves closer. There it is. Perfect.
Orgoth and Khador.
Look at that.
I got 2 of each.
So that's the back. That thing looks cool.
It's got so many little wings. It's like it's trying to fly.
Yeah, that thing does look sweet.
It's very brutal.
I don't want to be an Orgoth player, but looks pretty
So
sweet.
that is actually, from a logistics side, I'm looking at that. That is for sure something you would not have been able to cast in one piece
No.
using traditional
It'd been
casting.
3 or 4.
Easily. I think it would have potentially been more.
Yeah, the back piece would have been one, the side wings would have been one.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
now there's discussions about Haley in the chat. Haley 7, the Harbinger of Menoth. Oh, Lord.
The Harbinger has been friggin' Haley the entire time.
Oh, Lord.
Wasn't Haley the alternate history Crix caster?
Yes, as a
Yeah,
matter of
that's
fact,
right.
she was.
Because if they had taken the other twin,
If instead of taking
Denegra.
who became Denegra, they took Haley instead. Yes.
yeah,
Forget what they called her, too.
So we got feet. Heads are really detailed too. I mean, like,
Stu, Haley travels the multiverse. I think all casters are actually Haley in disguise.
the one thing I always look for if I get like 2 left feet, because that's happened to me before. But so far these seems pretty solid.
yeah. So we do have some attachment point issues here, but that's pretty simple. That's a snip. So this is right in here on the shield.
Oh yeah.
Get nice and close for our viewers at home. Up a smidge, down a smidge, there, and hold it there. Get it close to. Focus, you camera, focus. It is not wanting to focus because I'm trying to see what you're talking about from my end as well. Oh my gosh. It is not focusing.
Okay. So there are some lines right here.
Oh
on the
yeah, I
fingers.
see what you're
It's
saying.
very, very tiny. Very, very tiny.
So right there in those pockets.
Oh, yes. Hold on,
Yeah.
wait. I can draw on stream. Give me a second. We're going to make this work. Enable draw mode. Hold it right there. Yes.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Right there-ish, folks at home. Right there-ish.
Couple of little things, but yeah, like you said, real quick snip and they're
Yeah,
gone.
snip, you're good.
Yep.
We shouldn't have played with the draw tool. That was a mistake.
So we've got, this
Too
guy.
much power.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so I even look at this. The gun just looks sweet, I think. So the front, that profile on that gun through that shield,
Huh.
that looks
That's
sweet
awesome,
to me.
actually.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that the first time.
So, for the diehard enthusiasts, you'll have to drill out gun barrels, but from a printing perspective, which I know we've got at least one person in the chat that is very familiar with printing models, it's just probably safer that they've filled up the barrels. There's less chance of like a structural
Right.
failure or something like that.
Absolutely.
So this is the chain flail.
and on these
Bring her
ones,
down closer.
I did notice all the weapons,
Oh no!
unlike the halberd on the other one, there's multiple connection points. So I think they were designed better to,
Right here.
yeah, like whoop right here.
So now it looks like the chain flail didn't break. It looks like it was.
No, it's in 3 separate pieces.
Yep.
It's absolutely
That
3
was-
separate
that was
pieces.
a good call.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise this thing definitely would have snapped in transit.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Snapped like my will to live.
So we got chainsaw plus claw equals fun time.
Yep.
Chainsaw claw.
Oh yeah, look at that claw. Clamp, clamp, clamp.
Give him the clamps.
You go chainsaw, so you can go claw. Not sure which arm that's on. But yeah, no, these are, the amount of detail on this is friggin' crazy. And then the heads look great.
All right.
Oh my
all right.
God.
I think that might have been the one from the
Uh,
on the paint.
yeah.
That they did the paint schemes with.
Yeah.
That head looks sweet.
Yeah, this is another one that's been on a lot of paint schemes.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the heads are great. Like,
Bring it down just a smidge. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
heads
Look,
are great.
That's gorgeous, actually. I like seeing the little vents on the visor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much detail. Like, it's nuts.
Well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And
so,
that's the Orgoth. Here's the tyrant bag.
Yep. And we'll get this cleaned up, and then we'll move on to some Khador, which is my main faction. I decided to get into Orgoth because it was. I decided to get into Orgoth because, hey, starting something new. It's awesome. Also, the claw.
The claw.
The claw.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Yeah. Also, all jacks have dual attack now, which is pretty great as a baseline.
Yes, no, and that's something I'm super looking forward to, actually.
Can I see his box? I'm just curious what else is. Is this just dead space or what's in here?
There's
This is just their warning. Yes, we use plastic and it'll kill you in California.
Yay, carcinogens.
Oh, it does actually cool. It does tell you where the respirator if you sand and do all that stuff.
They start putting that in there, and that's probably where the
Oh, the public,
magnets
thanks
used
for
to
the
be.
heads up on that. I think you're right. Just depending on the angle and everything, but
Yeah. There is enough. Like it did sink down about 1.5 millimeters maybe, so you could easily like the gun bore.
yes,
It did sink down, so you could easily paint that in and make
you
it
could
look.
paint it. You could
depth.
paint it in, or with the right size drill bit. It's not
Drill
hard
it
to
out.
drill out a little bit further to make it believable.
Yeah.
And like,
It's the same sort of thing you would run into with the Sega Games Workshop models. I know it's heresy,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's hard to cast or to print anything that's just a hollow tube.
So we have a dire wolf, a great bear.
and our workcaster, Katerina Baranova.
All right.
Ekaterina!
Baranova.
Vladdy thinks Castor has great name.
All right, Kat, what you got? You got a piece in the corner there.
Now we're talking about a caster that, like Haley, doesn't even want to be on the actual battlefield. This Khador caster wants nothing to do with anything that may potentially even inconvenience her
Respectfully,
slightly.
sir, keep your distance.
Respectfully over there forever. That's why my feet is just Zerkova 1's
So-
feet, except it's slightly different.
First thing you can see right off the bat, there
Yeah.
are a couple of little,
Get it up close.
what are they called?
Boobles?
No.
But there shouldn't be boobles.
The
Mold.
The supports.
Supports, thank you.
Yeah, resin supports.
Yes, those things. But snap off, clean it real easy.
Try to hold up with your hand like behind, so that way we can,
Yeah,
so it gets focused.
make the camera focus on that. Yeah, you can see a couple supports, but again, those are just quick snip. Go over with a toothbrush and you get it.
It's not bad, yeah. It is.
It's a lot easier than the molds.
Give her a good rotation. Let's see this gorgeous Ekaterina. Yes, she has only one leg and no arms.
Look at the detail on her
Gonna make a
cape.
joke there.
Like,
Probably
that
not the right
detail
time.
is insane.
You know, if she was a waitress at IHOP, yeah, never mind, I already ruined it.
Okay.
Come on, Eileen, only one leg, hopping around.
But yeah, there's insane amount of detail on her back, like for this cape. It's nuts.
So this probably will not pop up on camera, but on the back of the leg, you can see the boot. You can see the cloth, like the pants underneath the boot,
There you go.
between the boot and the greave. You can actually see the cloth underneath that.
It's insane.
The detail is really, really good.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, they've done a good job. As far as the print is concerned, they've done a good job.
Yeah. Like I said, mold lines was the biggest thing I heard people talking about, and I don't see them.
Yeah, no,
Now, my eyes are almost 40, but I don't see them.
No one needed to know that. It's okay. We believe in you.
What do your LFIC? Jack.
They're taking something.
All right, where are we going next?
Let's go
Bears
to
or
the Dire
wolves?
Wolf.
All right.
Going to the Dire Wolf.
Yes, the circle player
So
in me
now-
says yes.
So this
wolves.
is the lighter of the two Khador jacks.
Yes.
Because to clarify, Khador still doesn't have light jacks.
No.
However, this is the quote-unquote lighter of the two.
This is a 3/4 ton pickup.
Exactly. Fewer boxes, a smidge less armor, but nonetheless still a heavy jack chassis.
There's the Khador Ranger.
Yes. No. We're talking like this is Ranger is a half
That's
ton.
the F-250 as opposed to the full-blown like semi-cab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks sick.
Yeah. All right, so parting some stuff out here.
Yeah.
Got-
This is at least a two-part cast.
Holy nards. Yeah, the dozer shield is
Yeah.
a big, impressive piece, actually.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping we get mirrored so I can go double shield. Because shields can attack now. They have a power.
Yeah.
That's been a thing for a while now. However, I'm with you. I would love to see. I'm positive the reason actually that we don't have double shields on any jack chassis we've seen so far is exactly to keep that from happening. We don't need ARM 23 and 24 jacks wandering around the battlefield going like, "Suck on this, nerds."
Well, and they've done a lot of dry runs with Warcaster. I know I say that a lot, but the Dust Raiders, I think it is, that has the double shield light jack.
The ISA also has some pretty gnarly
Yeah.
heavies with double shields.
And it's
too.
ridiculous. Like, it gets real redonkulous. And they did it intentionally there, and I think they maybe wanted to dial it back a little bit. So maybe that's the thing they were thinking about. I don't know. But
Well, we will for sure see how things kind of evolve, but I know at least in our meta, for some time, armor has been very prevalent,
yep.
and the ability to crack it has been a big concern in our lists. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes coming up in Mark IV. The way the chassis are designed and everything, it does appear armor is less prevalent like natively. However, between spells and feats and whatnot, we may still see the armor taking center stage in meta.
The Cortexes I'm seeing here, they are a lot simpler than the Orgoth ones, but I think that's the Khador style.
Yeah,
They
it
still
is.
look good.
It is.
Yeah.
They still look good.
Yeah,
But
this is definitely, when I look at this, I see Khador. Like, I
yeah.
100% see Khador. As a Khador aficionado, I am very, very happy with what we're seeing from Privateer Press. They're still in faction. They still have the faction lore. They still have the same faction feel. I mean, the only thing I need for them is to have a Karchev and Prime, but hey.
And still, even on this, there's minimal cleaning
Yeah.
needed on this.
No, this
a little
is-
bit, but it's minimal.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to, so for me as a novice painter, I'm going to be able to do a slap, if anybody's ever heard of slap chopping, we're basically do a Zenthal highlight and then go over a speech. Yeah, not with a rattle can, but
No, the slap chop.
not,
Slap chop. Slap chop.
that's what it's, yes.
Well, what was his name?
The old
Not-
infomercial.
Yeah.
Slap chop.
Not
Yeah.
Billy Mays.
It's the other guy who wanted
his
to do it.
successor that also went to jail.
Yeah.
ShamWow guy.
Yeah, ShamWow guy.
Anyway.
It's just basically a Zenthal highlight, but instead of using a rattle
Menthals?
can, Zenthal highlight. Instead of doing a rattle can, you actually do dry brushing. So
Oh,
this
okay.
is going to be real easy and very, very little cleaning. Like it's going to take primer
Well,
really well.
One thing I'm going to do as I get these models, hopefully coming up here this weekend, is very slowly I will be building not only my battle box, but someone else's battle box. I'm kind of hoping that I will turn those into either short streams or YouTube videos for people who would like to see more or are interested. Get some real good shots of pieces close up. Maybe try tackling some things like conversions, if that's at all possible. But I love seeing what's going on here. I believe that's the flamethrower fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
It's hilarious.
You know, you're talking about doing those speed paints, which I think would look really, really nice on these. But there is so much, if you wanted to spend the time on these and pick this out, there's so much going on in this. And the flamethrower, you can see the igniters in the front of it. That I think looks
Yeah,
awesome.
it's sick. Like they did a really good job on casting this, and like you can build a really good destroyer out of this. Like just for comparable models, you got a bombard in here, so you can do whatever the equivalent AOE is for a destroyer. Like there are a lot of options here.
Now, I know we're not unboxing a Signar box today.
Yeah.
But while the Sea Raiders, the Orgoth Sea Raiders, have no immediate equivalent, we do know that in Khador and in Signar that we're seeing in these boxes, a lot of the existing Jack range is covered by the 2 kits.
Yes, absolutely. Like you can build a better Centurion.
My thing is, this is the light Khador heavy.
This is like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
No, this is the one I'm looking forward to.
The only thing,
freaking Khador.
we don't get the Clamjack kits or their equivalents in the new Khador stuff, and that's okay. Again, we're just maybe the crazy armor is going away, and that's probably fine. And I'm hard
This looks
pressed.
so huge.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next.
The Great Bear.
Bigger. It
Bigger.
gets bigger.
More.
It gets barrier.
This is the Great Bear.
It's insane,
Great
actually.
Bear. This is who
Look
I've
at
been
that.
looking
Look
for.
at that torso. That
Alone.
torso is more material than your entire heavy Orgoth jig.
Comes on a 50 mil base.
This is a 50 mil base.
Look at that arm. Look at that arm and tremble and terror.
And I just imagine this is going to be a build right there.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Axe and flail.
With a gladiator head, nonetheless.
Yeah, in fact, when I saw this is the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh, I can build a berserker that doesn't blow up. And just charge him around the battlefield. Seems good.
This Jack hits like truck.
It's like several trucks.
Many trucks. One truck each arm.
Oh yes, and it's also your ranged weapons platform.
It can be, yes. That's
Oh, there's the leg. Okay.
Yes, it can also be your entire ranged weapons platform. Like you can run your entire army off of this one dude. We are missing a head. Oh, there he
it's
is.
hiding. I had faith in him.
like that they added Wolfgang Amadeus
So I am
as a bounty hunter.
I'm a little bummed. I've already seen someone paint up the new Khador in Soviet colors, and it made me mad because
Yeah.
it looks good. Actually, it looks very phenomenal.
So Big Bear have tiny brain, with
That's-
very tiny head,
Yes, that's Khador though.
and tiny socket in back.
Yeah, I was looking at this. So
Yeah.
they have a real deep socket there to make that
make
just
that connection.
easy.
Yeah.
And it's all, again, pre-drilled.
Yeah, pre-drilled.
Drilled is not a word.
Drilt?
Drilled.
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 Drill dude.
But yeah, nice, easy sockets there.
Yeah. Goes right in. NBD, like this thing builds itself. Like you don't have a behemoth where it's like 32 friggin' pieces, or an extreme juggy that's like 50.
It is almost like the press to fit GW models, except that you still do glue and stuff. But it looks like everything fits real well together.
Yep.
Having pre-printed the sockets for the magnets is phenomenal. That's
The one thing I did notice about the magnets, something I was curious about, is there's 2 sets of magnets in there, so it comes with the 3/16 and the 1/8, and it looked like most of the sockets on the chassis took the 1/8, and most of
heads
the
take the 3/16.
oh yeah, because the arm takes an 8.
Supposedly, in your instructions that are included in the box on the other side of the carcinogens, it has an assembly guide, or at least they have an assembly guide on their website. Actually,
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't see one
talks
on
about
there.
how to build them, and it does show in fact that the heads use the smaller magnets and the arms use the bigger ones.
Cool.
So, but
Which
hearing
makes
that you said there were 20
There's
of
20
each
of each.
size.
I think so. Yeah, we'll double check it.
Yep. Let's go ahead and open one of these guys up.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, let's go ahead and open them up so that people know what they're getting.
We are going to find out how thick the magnets are. I don't think it lists
Oh, they're
their width,
super
does
thick.
It?
It does.
They're thick boys, I think.
How thick are the magnets?
Oh, no. Sorry, just the width.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see how thick they are. 'cause
Oh yeah,
that's-
so we do have some mold lines on this guy.
Is it mold lines?
Yeah. Yeah, so take a look for yourself, and then I'll put it up on the stream.
Oh no, so yeah, actually that's interesting. Go ahead and see it. It's gonna be interesting to try to get it on stream. It's not mold lines so much as yeah, it's difficult to get up on stream, but the layers, you can see the layers of how stuff cured.
Yeah, but that's gonna be real easy. Like your friggin' primer will take care of that.
Depends on how fine your primer is.
Right.
Army Banner.
Fair. Say that, or my understanding is there's a few different ways to tackle it.
I couldn't open it. That's because I did not read the child safety.
We cannot see the squeeze on camera. But yes.
Yes,
they
you must
are
squeeze this if you don't read the top.
child safe, so that way your child does not eat them and then perish.
So there you go. Those look like
1/8 inch,
no 16th.
16ths. You know what happened to your tape measure?
Hey, look at that.
If only we had a tape measure to
If
determine.
only we were like war gamers. All right. That looks like the 16th.
So Old Lunar Republic looks like 16th.
Yep. Those are 16th. Yeah, it said there was 20 of each. Seems solid. Because you won't need all 20.
No,
you
that's
need
way more magnets than you'll need.
you need
actually.
5 for the heads.
And they are strong.
5 for each arm. So you need 10 magnets for the arms, and then you need 5 magnets for the heads.
Yeah.
Yep.
So actually, in theory, each tube of magnets gets you
2 jacks.
2 jacks worth of stuff. Actually, so that makes sense now that we're talking about it, because that's what you're getting in each battle box.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey,
you
look
will,
at that.
You will still have some
you,
smaller magnets left over.
But no, that's cool.
So
I
try
think they
to
were saying these were packaged at like $7 a box,
7 or 8.
something like that. Yeah.
But the pricing of the starter boxes is going to be adjusted
Right,
to
it goes
account
down.
for that.
yeah.
Now that being said, no offense right to your press, I know we can get those magnets cheaper, especially if you're buying them on bulk from online sources. However, for the battle boxes that we're getting, they are
super
included
nice.
in the price. So
Yeah. And they will be included in the price going
can I
forward.
see
Yeah.
the big shield again?
Yes, absolutely.
See if we can't get this to show up on stream when I'm looking at here, because Old Lunar Republic's talking about how it may be a pigment issue.
Here, let me see.
And I feel it with my fingernail, which
Is it?
indicates that the
It's a texture
the
issue.
lines is not a pigment issue. It's like
We are Magic Group. I'm playing
bring
by
the
group.
piece a little bit closer.
Magic Group.
Maybe flip the tray around so it's just black on the one side. We'll see if that helps.
What?
No,
Prices
that's
will
not
jump
helping.
as soon as release comes out.
Yeah, it's not coming. It's not coming through on stream. Hold it up to here, actually. If you pass it to me one more time, I'm going to try to do it
Yeah.
in front of the big camera.
Yeah, swap scenes on it. You gotta do your focus.
Ah!
As you bump everything.
As I bump everything.
I might try and combine them if I come back because I really like the new like demonic looking tags.
For those of you watching, I'm looking on very excited my phone with the stream on it so I can see what we're seeing, and it's just funny watching as he does this.
It is not coming through on here either, so. Switch it back to y'all. It may be something you have to do a little bit on, but I'm not 100% sure if that's a production concern. It is, unless you're really looking for it, fairly unnoticeable. It's behind the shield. Where it looks like a fine file or fine grit sandpaper might take care of it.
It doesn't look like mold lines to me, only because, and I'm a novice 3D printer, don't get me wrong, but they're not consistent. Like some of them are curved and
It's the layers.
yeah.
It's the layers of the printing. The pigment issue causes the layers. Oh, okay. So like the pigment of the resin causes the issues where it doesn't quite
Oh, I see.
cure right. Old Lunar Republic's letting us know, and I know that they've got a lot of experience printing stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's barely noticeable. You can see it on there, and like you were saying, just a real quick sandpaper would take care of that pretty easy. I don't know if
Actually, the closest we've got to it is right where you're holding it. Yeah, it's super tough to see on there, but
it's the top of the shield, top of the fist, the whole like top side of that whole thing. The rest of it's fine. The other sides, the back, all that looks fine. It's just the top there.
so. But again, we're talking about something that for tabletop quality, you can just gloss over. It's probably fine. It's just
Yeah.
if you want to be above tabletop quality for your builds or your painting, you may need to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some little trim up and stuff we need to do on this guy. Just a little bit. But not much. Like you'll see that. Like these things are not going to be absolutely perfect. Like we're expecting perfection from these guys since it's a new manufacturing model. Like how much work have you done on your standard, Karchev 1 or Widowmakers or God knows what? Like,
Well, I go nuts, but that's me.
yeah.
I am for sure the exception and not the rule, and it's also why none of my stuff ever gets painted.
Yep. Overall, this looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like that aside, I've been super impressed.
Yeah.
I still want to play pigs, but I'm super
Yeah.
impressed by it.
Yeah, that Tyrant has so much detail on it.
Before we kind of review everything in total,
Yeah.
anything chat would like to see again out of the Sea Raiders or the Winter Core boxes, or any piece we'd like to try to get up close so you can take a closer look at it?
This is a 50 mil base. It has a rounded lip edge.
Which they need
Like,
to.
gasp. I was actually surprised to see that there were slotted bases at all included with this stuff.
You know, I didn't even think about that.
It's probably what they have.
Right? They have
That may
sitting
be
on
it, yeah.
10,000 of them, and they just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tape over that anyway. And
Let's start doing that.
I used to fill them with putty,
I green set
and
them
then
all too.
I was like, wait, some painter's tape works. It just holds my basing, and we're golden.
Right? I'm going to cover it in glue and
Yeah, we're fine.
blocking anyway. So well, awesome. And then on this as well, just so you can see that box, we'll pop that out. Because it is pretty cool. The
got
artwork
some-
on that. None of this is artwork we haven't seen before, but camera's up there. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I like the box. Standard box from all of them. Little sticker tells you which box you got, but I don't think any of this is new artwork, but it's still cool.
I'd still like to try to fill a few more minutes. So, folks, what are your impressions of the models individually and the boxes overall?
I am extremely happy with my purchase, to put it mildly. I have been fighting. So as somebody who's come into Mark III relatively late in the game and having to deal with
Yeah, the balloon people are here.
like bad model kits, having to do the sprues, like without having that emotional investment that a lot of veteran Warmachine players have. Like this is a revelation. This is a breath of fresh. This is like it's a night and day difference. Like from the first thing I unboxed this time around was Karchov 1, and that thing was a mess. Like he took so long to clean up. Widowmaker, same problem. Took so long to clean up. This is going to take me about 2 seconds to clean up. And
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to get to painting all of this stuff in about 3 minutes.
I think that's probably my biggest takeaway on that was the ease of
Yeah.
what should be clean. I'll still wash them. I don't know if they need to be, but I'll still.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll still wash them.
You should absolutely wash them.
But yeah, everything I saw was a quick snip, toothbrush, and simple green, and you're good.
Yeah.
No, Matt, to your point, I have loved Privateer Press's game Warmachine for quite some time now. However, one place where they have lagged behind for a long time is unfortunately the way their models are made.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like their models aren't pretty. There are definitely a lot of models that do look as gorgeous as some of the other companies out there. But when I think about like the premier model making companies out there, I do think Games Workshop, I do think Weird, where their kits are not just gorgeous, but they are either simple or logical to put together. Whereas for sure we do not get that with Privateer
Oh,
Press,
no.
and this is a step in the right direction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I recently put together an Old Witch, like Old Witch 1. Oh my God, that thing took me 30 minutes just to figure out.
The blob of a lady
the
with a stick.
blob old lady, like that is.
I'm reminded of Games Workshop models from 25, 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
As far as like how to assemble these things, the metal casting, the way the parts are set up, and how they're unfortunately not easy to put together.
Yeah.
Or in some of Privateer Press's cases, the resin kits where everything's essentially monopose. Like
yeah.
you get 3 or 4 poses in a 10-man unit,
Right.
and it's puzzle pieces. They all just fit together exactly as they're supposed to go. There's no deviation on it. But again, the 3D printing opens up a lot of room, and I'm excited to see where they can potentially go with it and how they utilize the technology.
You can actually look just in the evolution from what I've seen. Look at you go look at Behemoth original. Look at the quality of that model. Like just go down this. Just go down this with me. Look at Behemoth original. Look at Behemoth 2.0. Look at the quality of that model by comparison.
Vastly different.
Vastly different. It's a partial resin, partial partial white metal.
Yeah.
Now you look at that Tyrant. Look at the leap that they've had, and I believe that Behemoth is one of the best models they've made. Like Behemoth
Looks,
2.0,
yeah.
like it looks great.
You should assemble Deathjack too. It's great.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Like, yeah, but but Deathjack 1 looked great too.
But it was
Death
also
Jack
a
2 is
mess
so
to
good.
build.
Yeah, Death Jack 2 looks real good too. But like, I mean, just the leaps that they're making as far as the style, where they're going. I think as far as design and approachability, like from what I've seen of Games Workshop, like Knights. Like when I was looking to getting into wargaming, again, I was looking at Imperial Knights possibly for 40K. That thing looked like a nightmare.
Just because it's
Pun
$1.5 billion
intended.
pieces.
Yeah, it's $1.5 billion pieces. Like I'm looking at a Victor, and that looks much easier to put together.
I like
But
the
that's
Victor
old school.
Conquest
Yeah,
kit. That was a
but-
fun one.
But at the same time, like Privateer Press is trying to make the game a lot more approachable, a lot easier for people to get into. Like you can bring, 12, 13-year-olds into this game.
That's what I was thinking. Like those kits, I would feel pretty good handing those to my kids who are
Absolutely.
11, almost 12,
Yeah.
and being able to say,
It might need a little help with the magnets, but other than that,
yeah, they'll be solid. They'll
Yeah.
be fine.
just fine. Like
And other than the halberd, like I didn't see any warping.
Older Republic brings up we need to put a Mark 1 ironclad next to one of the new heavies to see the size difference. We'll have to add that to the checklist actually.
Yeah.
As we start building models, we'll get an ironclads through the ages
I
sort of
have
thing
a Mark
going.
One. I think I have a Mark One Menoth box, like an unassembled Menoth box. I don't know what happened to that thing.
Well, I'm almost positive someone in the store has a Mark 1 ironclad. If not, I know someone in a meta does.
Yeah,
So if we could borrow it, put it next to a Mark II ironclad, and then put it next to the new Signar kits, that would be something to see actually.
yeah.
Yeah, so from sizing, the Great Bear is not the same size chassis as the Extreme Juggernaut or the Behemoth, but it's close.
Gotcha.
It looks slightly larger than
The other mainline jack, so
Yes.
like it looks it's slightly larger, but it's got a lot more heft to it because versus plastic, versus plastic, but not versus the white metal, obviously.
One other thing I was just thinking about was, I dry fitted a little bit of it, but just based on what we've seen online and what I've seen in that box, I didn't see a lot of hangover. So even though the models, might be a little bigger, I don't see the big spears and spikes and
Yeah.
things, butt charges
that's
for
an
days.
interesting, actually,
And,
Yeah.
I didn't see that in those kits. And, those poses are fairly fixed the way they've done them because there's the slot, then there's usually a peg or something to hold the
Yeah.
arm in place.
Yes.
So they seemed fairly, you can always model if you want, whatever, but they seem fairly fixed, and there didn't seem like a lot of overhang on the models.
Extremes don't count, says Old
Yeah.
Winter Republic. Yeah, and that's fair. The kits are cool, but yeah, they're a little large.
Yeah, I only use, like, if there's an Extreme and it looks good, Feral Warpwolf,
Hey, be nice to my Pharaoh.
that thing looks terrible, man.
Not as bad as the Carnivian.
You are not wrong. That thing looks awful.
Poor Extreme Carnivian is too extreme and not enough Carnivian.
Yes. Extreme Juggernaut, Extreme Destroyer, they look great. They look absolutely great. In my opinion.
I don't know what other extremes there even are.
I don't know. The Extreme Hordes did not come out nearly as well as the Extreme Menoths, or Extreme Warmachines.
Yeah.
Extreme Warpwolf looks like it is doing a kickflip 360 at a skate park. And that it
Right.
is extreme.
Off the log. Woo!
Yeah, that's right. Tony Hawk, the Warpwolf.
Yeah.
Might be in the same camp with
I like it.
So yeah, no, I think from a model perspective, from what we're seeing, I think it's a good buy if you're into modeling, that sort of thing. Yet to be determined on the game itself. Like
We got
we've
another
seen the beta
4 weeks
rules.
for the rules,
Yeah.
hopefully.
4 weeks the rules,
Hopefully, just 4
Hopefully.
weeks. We'll see.
But as far as these kids
I'm
are
not holding my
concerned,
breath, but
as,
we will see.
as far as these kids are concerned, I am very glad I spent so I have an additional 2 boxes on top of this. I am very pleased with my purchase.
Well, since they're your kits, Matt, have you thought about how you're painting them?
Yes, I am using a method called Slapshot that have been popularized by the Honest Wargamer and Ninjon. Basically, it is a Zenthal highlighting and a Armor Painter speed paint.
What colors?
Yeah, scheme.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, scheme,
so
sorry.
oh sorry. I'm gonna be doing straight black essentially for Orgoth.
What?
Yeah, no, I go straight up normal stuff, man. Like I am
Blacks and reds.
blacks and reds. Like I want
Your Orgoth are going to be edgy?
Edgelord
Edgelord
Orgoth.
I want people to when that's why I went with straight red Khador. I originally wanted to go black on Khador, but my original plan was I want to make sure that when somebody looks at what they're playing against, they know what they're playing against.
That's fair.
Yeah, I like there's gonna be detail and everything else like that. There's gonna be some flourishes, but at the end of the day, I want my opponent to be able to see what I am doing.
I now want nothing more in my life than to get an Orgoth Sea Raider battle box, just the battle box, because I don't plan on playing the whole army, but paint it neon pink.
Somebody did. I saw somebody on the Facebook group did Harusk as straight sea friggin' green.
I can see it.
It was metallic and it was gorgeous.
You can do a lot with it if you do it right, and I can't wait to see now like a neon pink Orgoth. Bonus points, model bunny ears onto some of the stuff.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
mod the heads a little bit.
Yeah, mod.
Tom Horgoth.
No.
Chad, I really wish you could see my face. I broke there for a minute. Put them on stockings.
No pastel. No, dude, not neon pink, because neon pink's coming back in. Like neon pink's everywhere. Pastel. With
see
lavender.
pastel pink.
I love pastels.
No, like but
Have you seen my bird? You haven't seen my birds. When you taste the rainbow on my tuna list, it's all pastels.
It is.
But like you go with lavender highlights with a little bit of chartreuse.
I love my pastels on my circle. No, it's more of a natural thing, so it's the birds, whatever. So it's those natural colors, if you will. But I love my pastels.
So you're just thinking black for Orgoth, red for Khador.
Yes.
Kind of almost more the traditional, I guess. I shouldn't say traditional, but the studio theme for.
Yes, I
Khador,
pretty much go studio theme for right now. That could change in the future, but
That's one thing I do like about those studios, though, is the studios are really detailed and they're really cool to watch. But for newer painters, it is very easy to do almost a paint by number style of,
and that's
this should be
that's
black.
why I
this
did it.
should
Like
be-
I even have P3 paints to follow that.
Yeah.
I'm switching to Army Painter because they have a great speed paint line. So that's going to be that's a huge shift for me, going to a completely new production model, because I just want to get them done and get them on the table,
Right.
and have them look as good or better than they currently are. Like my paint skill is not amazing, but I can get them on table and you know what you're looking at.
Right.
I fully endorse that a painted model is a painted model, and that's better than a non-painted modle.
Yep.
I also don't have access to. I also can't do airbrushing because of my living situation. Like I'm in a basement. I can't airbrush in a basement.
There's absolutely
did.
nothing Pepto-Bismol for pink Orgoth. Oh my god.
Love it.
Pink off.
I airbrushed in my
Upset
basement.
stomach,
My wife only got mad at me a few
diarrhea.
times. It was fine.
How high did you get?
Not very.
Now, that being said, some of us have used, I have found that the right thing to mix with the paints I use at home to thin my paints is a 50-50 mix of water and 90% isopropyl alcohol. That's not for everyone. That's also still pretty fume-inducing.
Yeah.
So that's all your thing.
I buy the big old bottle, the liter of medium from, I remember, Vallejo.
Oh man, that's way too expensive. for my
Vallejo has a
taste.
big old, it's like a quart bottle of
Yeah, I got told by someone who does commissioned airbrush painting for a living, bro, don't do that.
Oh,
Use
okay.
this. But to each their own, and there's pros and cons to everything. So
Sure.
I can
Yeah,
also
water
use
and
my thinner.
alcohol.
Yeah, I can also use my thinner to clean my airbrush, which is super convenient.
I don't know if I have any alcohol.
You can
Got
buy
some
it now.
absinthe.
Oh, that,
I'd be drinking it.
no. 90% isopropyl alcohol. Please do not drink the isopropyl alcohol. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes a beer is involved in my airbrushing, but that's a whole other story. So
Yep.
It's a glass of scotch. So what are you gonna do?
as long as you're not mixing it up with your paints, you're fine.
You do know the final test for your model, right? So after you get done painting it, and you're looking at all the imperfections, go like this, and they all go away. Yep.
Arm's length is a heck of a.
Yep. Tabletop quality. I'm like, oh, I missed so much crap. It's all gone.
Yeah, I don't edge highlight. I don't do any of that stuff. Literally, it's a very like comic bookish type style that I do right
Yeah.
now. So you definitely know what you're looking at.
Sure.
But like with speed paint stuff, it's gonna do all that highlighting for me, which is gonna be great.
Nice.
All right. Well, I believe we're wrapping it up. It sounds
Yeah.
like, folks.
Yeah, we're good.
I'd like to throw out there to our audience tuning in. Most likely not next week, but in the preceding weeks, up into the the final release of the Mark IV rules as they start to come out.
The final
we will-
beta release.
The final, well, the actual release.
The actual
The actual
release.
beta release.
No, the beta release of the app with the actual rules.
I thought it was still beta. Oh, either
No,
way.
the rules will be a full release,
Nice.
but the app will be a beta.
Cool, cool.
The final test does it bounce.
Play one game against Scott did.
No, we will not test that on stream. I almost refuse to do that on principle. I've actually, unfortunately, seen some horror stories about people's models breaking.
Yeah, so these models are going to be more brittle than your standard plastic and otherwise.
Time will tell how well they hold up to the rigors of playing in transport, but yes, I will not be bounce testing any of my models.
I would just
I
make
might
sure you
cry.
pull them out of your car in the winter. Don't let them freeze.
For those of you that aren't aware, we live in Colorado. We hit some temperature extremes. We have 0 degrees winters and 100-degree summers. So the models will go through the tests.
Yep.
We will find out how they perform in all sorts of heat or lack thereof. But to get back to what I was saying, we are planning on, again, probably not this next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, and until we finally get Mark IV rules, we'll probably be streaming Mark IV Battle Box games, since we now have people in our store that have them. So expect that. Hopefully we get to play around more with some Mark IV rules before the actual official rules drop. And then from then on out, as long as the interest continues, we will continue to be a Warmachine Mark IV stream for you folks. So, well, I'd like any closing thoughts from you gentlemen?
No, just thank you again to Enchanted Grounds for letting us come out here. If you're ever out here on the Wednesdays, come join us. We are here every Wednesday from about 5 to closing, and then you can get hot wings afterwards.
Woo, hot wings! Just like Greg said, thank you again for Enchanted Grounds for hosting us. We're going to go ahead and hop off for the evening, cut this again a little short. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. This is Zero Kid. We will hopefully catch you all next time. Take care.